This video was initially recorded right after the THQ event. So first, let's talk about... What do you want to talk about? So the first thing that is shown is basically the intro cutscene to the game. At least part of it. When their crypto are just like talking to that agent and everything.
Confronted by the agent, yeah.
Yeah.
I was honestly thinking... I kept saying it during every analysis thing. I did not like the models of the KGB. First off, Crypto looked fine. Like the hippies, all of them are looking flawless. I love it. Just maybe I saw maybe one issue during the animation of that cutscene. Like if you go and watch it slowly, you can see the hippies running away when they were when Crypto says, "Uh-oh. That can't be good."
Yeah.
You see the hippie run away, flailing her arms in the back. It looked weird to me.
Yeah.
And the model for the KGB just didn't fit his very, very the KGB's nature. That and also didn't fit the iconic model ad for the actual cutscene. You didn't feel scared when he showed up to confront you. There wasn't a.
I mean. The original CG cutscene had a higher poly count CG model, so you can it's not just it's a PlayStation 2. You can't really tell what it's trying to be. It's you can tell because it's in that cutscene, and I do understand that. To me, it's not. He's not outrageous like some other things. To me personally, just as a purist wanting it to look basically the same, but better. He's not the most egregious example of the design differences compared to the original, but I can see that he looks. I can't put my finger on how he looks different, but he looks different.
I more or less the way I think of it is when I look at him, I don't feel like there's going to be an intense battle about to happen compared to the first game. He pulled out that pistol and aimed it down. No, DylanTheFuron, I expect you to die. And then once the cutscene ends, most KGB agents in the area ambush you. So you feel a bit of you kind of feel cornered. You don't vulnerable, right?
Yeah,
in the remake,
you've been brought down to a lower level.
Yeah, what happened in the remake? It just there's little to no people in that park. Normally, Crypto has to clear the whole place of KGB agents.
Yeah,
but it was not the case in that mission.
Yeah, in the mission, it's sort of they all. There's a few KGB that are in the park. There's probably about 4, and then there's a bunch that, and then there's a bunch that show up in a car, but that car immediately gets blown up by a meteor, and that's oh, it just happened to land on them, but it's kind of it just feels like the game is being overly friendly, even though it's supposed to be a badass moment.
Yeah,
in the original, it hit in the original, it hit if it does hit something, it would hit a NPC car or something.
I remember if you go up the hill in the first mission, what happens is it's a cop car. 2 of them are right there with a pistol aiming at Crypto, and a giant meteor crashing the car.
And it makes sense that in the chaos, the police are back there. They're off to the side, way off. Not in the park, because they don't know what's going on. They're confused by all the gunfire and meteors.
What I would think would be cool is they hear also gunshots during all the meteors falling. So that's them running to the fucking park, but they get blasted by the meteor.
Oh yeah, I think if it was the cops that showed up. Oh,
that would be fine.
But what would be cool as well? I'm just freaking out, thinking about different stuff. What would also be cool is if the KGB agents, if they don't immediately get blown up and the KGB agents start, and there's say there's a lot more KGB agents than the original, and to justify that, they have the cops show up to kind of fight them off for a little bit, so they're distracted and you can kill them easier.
Yeah,
they could do it like that, but that's different. Yeah. But I feel like that would be different in a good way.
Yeah,
Possibly.
but like I would like the approach of the cops come and try to help, but once they see what they're fighting, they'd like, oh, we get it, and they start attacking you type thing. They wouldn't really take them on over you.
Yeah.
E-
Yeah, they
Even
probably
though,
prioritize the little alien with a laser gun.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of the same mission right after that. The next part we're gonna go into is the quote unquote meteor that hits Pox that originally was an explosive planted by the KGB.
Yeah.
Which I think was not a good move, because like this is going to be a big part. We're not trying to like ruin all you guys' hard work or trying to put you down. We're trying to make this as best for everyone, and hopefully make your outcome way much better and more, make it feel more rewarding to you guys. You know what I'm saying?
We're saying this because we love the original game so much.
Yeah, I wanted to say that before we started, but I fucking forgot. We love all the stuff you're doing, but please take our word for this and do this. I promise you it'll help in the long run, and honestly, I think it would definitely make it better.
Yeah.
Just from what I saw from the gameplay when I first watched it, it made me want to go play to the old one. I put my tail behind my legs and like, oh no. So
yeah.
I saw so many flaws, and I want to help you guys fix those flaws. I don't want to, ruin it for everyone. I want to make it good for everyone.
Yeah, because everyone likes. I will say, everyone who played the original game likes the original game.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone's favorite in this series, pretty much. Everyone agrees it's the best in the series, and a lot of the game holds up. Like with age, like sure, like some of the gameplay feels like turning to me feels slow if I go back and play it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as snappy as like a modern game, but like that's most of it. Like it's just a little bit of control and like just honestly, some minor things.
Honestly, for me, sensitivity never really mattered to me, because normally by the time you turned around, your health would be fine anyways. You don't need to really worry about that.
Yeah,
because you always had a lot of health to deal with.
It always helps.
In a big area, though.
It always helps if you feel like you have more control. It always does help. Yeah, with a game.
The thing is, with that, you could like probably find something that could boost the sensitivity of the game, and then boom, your problem solved. It wouldn't be that bad. But if something like if they brought like a this is also something I'm going to get into later that we want is possibly a Xbox version of Show Humans 2.
Oh yeah, the original.
Yeah, the original.
Like bumped resolution and stuff. Obviously, I don't think frame rate will work. You can't bump the frame rate on that because
no.
If you try it on emulator, it just makes the game run really fast, like sped up.
Yeah, but But yeah, what I was thinking is like you could also add a thing like what Aaron said with the tanky sensitivity, just up it a bit. Just let us have a setting where we can arrange it and see what fits
but
us.
I do think the gameplay they built off of from the first game has that snappiness. It's fine. I don't think they need to add anything new off of what they already made. It's just we want to make sure they retain as much of the feeling and structure of the original game, because a lot of the structure to us is perfect. Like it's fine. And in some areas, like I can understand to an extent, like if you change some things for a lot of people, it would be like, oh, this is slightly different. It is refreshing, but for us, it just kind of feels like why kind of thing. Especially when you can really like something, like what Dylan was going to get into a little bit ago was how the KGB went ahead beforehand and planted a bomb where they knew Orthopox landed. They knew he landed there, and they planted a bomb, and there was agents already there. And they planted a bomb, and to sabotage it. They were really, really coordinated and really well. They really planned this, like, to a
well
T.
Organized.
They were, if this blew up, they caught Crypto a little more off guard, they probably could have won. They could have. And that's what I really like about the original. And just having it so, like, instead of the KGB did something there, it's just like, oh, a meteorite hit the KGB agents when they were driving up. So, whatever. Oh, the meteor hit where somewhere close to where Pox is.
And
so that happens. Just circumstance.
Yeah.
It's just circumstance. Crypto like saving him like he's a little princess. No, I'm just joking. But
yeah, and also the same thing. This is exactly this is going to go into two things. What I'm going to say next. The Show Humans 2 original, what it did is when the bomb went off, it showed you basically the basics, like how your health shield works, the recovery system.
Yeah, it's like a classic thing.
The meteor just destroying the building scraps that idea. And if there's newcomers to the game, they're going to want to know, how does my health work? Feels like there ain't a recovery system.
I mean, like, sure, most people will understand, like, oh, I have a shield. My health went down. Oh, it's going back up. Okay. Like, most people will understand that, but I just feel like removing that completely just kind of removes the possibility, even if it's low, that someone might be like, oh, that's just how the shield works, and stuff like that. Like, and it makes sense with the story, how the KGB planted a bomb there. It's not like they just shoehorned it in so then, like, Crypto loses health. Like, kind of like what Halo did. If I remember right, in the beginning of Halo, they want you to walk in this shield thing, and it just hurts you, and then it's just like, oh, and then your shields can recharge. It's like, okay. Just kind of feels like they threw that in there just for learning purposes, because it was one of the first games that had the recharge shield thing. But anyways.
So yeah, the shield thing was a big downer to me, how you can it wouldn't say anything about it, and it wouldn't tell you about, like, the red is danger and you got to get out of there and just recover for a moment.
Yeah.
Right after that, it then shows them talking right at that location, which in theory would not even be a good spot to talk to, since that bomb went off. It would be cops would want to crowd that area. You can make it so cops go there. So you run up to the original area where the landing zone is.
Yeah.
And you actually do the landing zone there.
Yeah.
You do that mission, and this is also a thing that I was saying, we're going to get into another thing when we got up here. The landing zone is different. What I think would be a cool thing, since like you did it's not there until you come closer to it, and then it comes up out of the ground. That would be cool, but keep its original model. That's just it. Just keep the original model. Keep the quest the same.
It feels like a different statue in entirely, like a different structure. It doesn't. The design is completely different. It looks the new design looks cool and all. It's just so different. It just is like. You're changing something that people have fond memories of. Yeah. To that extent, especially with another KGB agent coming up.
Yeah.
The landing zone, the mission. Okay, so like the mission, instead of you going to go and like call your saucer and get the landing zone, first after like that bomb blows up, you instead in the remake. For whatever reason, they changed the structure around, which is a little concerning. Because, I sort of get it. Like, you're giving the player more mobility early on. I kind of get it. But, I am right with this, right? They had the mission, like, you had to call the saucer before.
Yeah, you had to call the saucer, and then the KGB rush in, and you take it down.
But in the remake... You go and get, like, your jetpack and then the dislocator, and then you do that.
Yeah, you skip all over getting your saucer.
And I kind of liked the original, how it did it, because you were stripped down, and because, like, your guard was lowered. You were stripped down of all of your stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And after all this panic and everything, the one thing you want to do is just, like, make it to somewhere where you can call your saucer, your biggest weapon, because you have been so surprised, your biggest weapon, and, just like reconnaissance with Pox, and talk about the situation and everything. And instead, you just go and do that. Like it's not the biggest switch up, but it is a switch up, and I feel like it can... deviate a little too much from the original, because it is supposed to be a remake of the original.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, the way that you had to go for 2 data cores, which was the jetpack and dislocator, I like that. Because in the original, you just got it out of nowhere. So in theory, Crypto had it the whole time. I didn't want to use it.
Yeah, I like the fact that you have to pick it up 2 separate. Like, it's not just like the game's like, oh yeah, you have a jetpack now.
So after the reconnaissance, that would be cool if he said, the Fox was like, all right, I can sense 2 data cores in your area or whatever. Go and get this one, which would be recommended, and then go for the other one.
Yeah. So basically, keep the same events that happen, but just like make it so it's in the right sequence of events that happened in the original game. Because like, even though it's not narratively like it doesn't narratively influence the story, because if it did, they wouldn't have changed it because they need the dialogue to match up perfectly.
Yeah.
But it's still like a structure of the mission that is changed, like a canon of sorts. Like, this is how the events went. You do this and everything. It's just personally, it just feels like it's an unneeded change. And I get it to an extent. You're getting the weapons early and whatnot, so like you can do more and everything. But yeah.
And now, speaking of the data core, the dislocator. The dislocator, when I saw someone use it, it was kind of saddening. I get it. A lot of people hated the dislocator, but to me, that was literally. It was made to be fun. It's an alien weapon. Yes, I think you can keep the bouncing thing in. But the thing is, with that, someone already used that for an already made gun, which was the Super Baller in Path of the Furon. Basically the same thing. It hits it, goes up in the air, and bangs it into the ground. You
put the Super Baller in Destroy All Humans 2, basically,
much,
with a charge that makes the bounce make it more deadly.
That's what I was going to get into.
It's literally a better supercharge than Path of the Furon, which is later or whatever.
Yeah.
And man, I was just like, I liked the original Dislocator, simply for the fact that like it's just cool. Like it's meant to be like a stun weapon, and it can kill your opponents.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
The Dislocator actually can help in a lot of reasons. The Dislocator, every 2 bullets will pick up a vehicle and fling it across the map.
Yes, and that was fun. And I love to watch that.
That works on tanks. Tanks are a big threat at the beginning of the game, and they will save your ass a lot. Yes. So it literally needs to fling them. Like the Super Baller, like the tanks will still be able to hit you.
Yeah,
it's going up and down.
The Super Baller is a little OP, actually, when I was watching the gameplay, because in the original game, your guns, it took a while for you to blow up a car, but the Super Baller, you charge it up for a few seconds, it bounces it, and it blows up, like, immediately. Yeah. And I feel like that difference is just, like, way different than the original. It's not, that part is not the biggest deal, but, like, the gun design completely being different to us is a bit different. Mm-hmm. But we did have like sort of an idea to where there could be a mode on the Dislocator where it would have the original properties of like multi-shot, and it basically makes things just like kind of fly away or whatever.
Yeah.
Slowly for like a stun and for a bit of damage.
Okay, yeah. So what I was thinking about when I was thinking about it is what y'all could do is you don't actually have to scrap either idea. You could mix them all together.
Yep.
You can have a charge shot dedicated to bouncing around and causing mega damage to one specific target, or you could just press it multiple times to get a car up and out of your way or a person out of your way.
Yep.
And the same thing in Destroy Humans 2, which ruins the fun, but it's really good when it comes to damage. Is if you aim at the ground, it'll make this particle effect. It will kill a few things around it.
Yeah.
Which no one's ever really done. But like, if you hit it at the ground next to like a cop or whatever, or like a hippie in Bay City in the original, it'll kill him in like 1 or 2 hits.
Exactly. And I kind of have a theory of why it does that. So I imagine it as kind of like a disc that's kind of like a crystal or like some kind of thing like that.
Ooh,
and so when it hits the ground, it basically like blows up into a bunch of shards and it stabs them, and that's why it does so much damage.
Yeah,
that was
also a reason why it bouncing around isn't any more a dislocator. It's a disco bouncer, pretty much. It's the disc bouncer is what it would be.
It doesn't feel like it doesn't really feel like a dislocator.
The dislocator is literally a play on words. You dislocate them from an area to another. You're not supposed to bounce. It would if you wanted to bounce them around, just change the name to disc bouncer.
And to me also, there's another play on words with it. Just personally, it looks like also
it's dislocating someone.
Yeah, it literally looks like it's separating their body parts from themselves. Like, I don't know if it actually is like cutting through them or if it's just like surrounding them, their bodies.
It's surrounding them. That's how they get flown around. But
yeah, it's like surrounding their bodies, and it looks like they're dislocated. As well.
I do like that idea, but yeah, if they're going from the cartoon aspect, I don't know how they're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, they would not be able to cut them in half. This would be a rated M game really fast.
Yeah, but so just stick with it, make it just go wrapping around them and just fling them around. And a supercharge would fling them to the air and bang them into the floor.
I also had another idea with it, like if they don't want to because they already have a rapid bounce like fire mode with the basically the super baller.
Yeah.
And then a charge mode. I was thinking or you hold it down and it charges. I was thinking you could have a separate mode that you can toggle that switches between the original properties of the dislocator and the baller mode. And I think a good way to distinguish it is the dislocator can be flat like a disc, and the baller can be a little like concave or whatever.
Oh,
concave,
dude,
whatever.
You want to be sick when it switches, right?
Yeah.
The little thing on the side, the little hatches that fling open to open the disc.
Yeah.
Once you switch it, the little things at the side will rotate, and then the disc will inflate into a ball.
Ooh.
Which would be a cool animation to see.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It just rotates like I don't really know how to describe it, but it really just rotates its position to being an upward position and just swings open. Then the
so the prawns rotate. So they're above each other, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. So the prawns are sideways, they turn to be upwards and downwards, and then they extend, and the ball comes out of the disc.
And I had a different idea at first. I was thinking, like, what if the prawns compressed the disc and made it into a ball? Or it could literally be both of that, honestly.
Yeah, it could, yeah.
With it turning and then doing that.
I mean, when it goes back to the disc, it would have to compress it into a disc. So in theory, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Because it has to flatten it.
Yeah.
But that was the dislocator. If y'all make that an addition, the dislocator, perfect.
Yes, that would be a humongous praise. Humongous, because it's basically adding another gun back into the game. Which is quite a lot of it's a good amount of work to program that and make sure it's all working good and everything. Like, sure, the game is probably like around a year away. It has a fluid release date because they want to make sure it's perfect. I understand that. Like they just said generally 2022, which is good, really good, because then it leaves a lot of room for people to be like, hey, this is what we think about it, and they tweeted about it, like wanting feedback and stuff, what they thought about the gameplay and everything like that, which is very, very valuable, especially for something that is valuable to fans.
To us, yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm really glad y'all are reaching out to us. We're glad to help.
Yeah.
This is honestly, I'm honored to help. Honestly, it really does mean a lot to help.
It really does, yeah.
Now, so like we said, kind of like the we were talking about the KGB not being so faithful when it comes to their designs.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, since they die so quick in Bay City on the first few missions, And then I immediately remembered the Zap-O-Matic ragdoll physics.
Oh yeah, that's one thing.
That's the Zap-O-Matic when it kills. I think they had it fine in the first remake. Didn't they have ragdoll physics, or did they not? Or did they spaz out?
I think they just drop down after you zap them. They didn't spaz out as much.
All I'm gonna say is, guys, ragdoll physics were Destroy Humans 2's peak comedy.
It was hilarious. You zap someone, you could literally, if you were skilled enough, juggle them with the Zap-O-Matic so they keep flinging upwards, and it was hilarious. It didn't make sense, but it was hilarious.
I did it with the Blisk so much. They were so glitchy too. They were so glitchy.
Oh my god.
So good.
The freaking light in their eyes just stretching.
Yeah. So the ragdoll physics, and not only of the Zap-O-Matic, it's also with explosions. When tanks or grenades go off, they literally fly off.
Oh yes, I posted a video on it was Instagram of just like a random moment. I was just sitting there talking to like Pox or the Freak or something.
It was Shyamalan.
I was talking. Yeah,
I'll explain it. So he was talking to Shyamalami, who's going to do the tent mission, and he had a wanted level of 3, which is the military, comes running up, and he's one of the hippies said something Crypto said something when you're going to lift him up over the place and over like a certain area, drop flyers on people, get our little coke going, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "Oh, you're gonna go above and puke on everyone. Attaboy, have a cookie." So and I said it, and I tried to say it in Crypto's voice, but in a creepy fashion. And as I say, "Here, have a cookie," the soldier, once he leaves the cutscene, throws a grenade up the hill, and the hippie flies off of nowhere.
Just a grenade. You just hear the grenade hit the ground, and then you hear him say that, and then it just explodes, and he just like flies and cartwheels away. I love the cartwheeling. Like, there is momentum to explosions. They will go flying, and I love that. That needs to be a thing. Like, there needs to be less weight. Not like tone down the gravity, but like you got to figure out a way to make like the way when they ragdoll them, maybe their like bodies are lighter or something. So when it explodes, it like they fling off or something. Because that was like that especially like that just has to be a thing, because that kind of broken physics works like in like it works, and I feel like it works in a modern game as long as it doesn't like break the gameplay or whatever, which it doesn't. They're dead. You're not gonna need someone's dead body in the game. They're dead. They're just gonna fly off if they want. The circumstances require it, I guess. And that was that. I love that, and I hope they can adjust that a little bit and make it more extreme. Like, I know we're talking about like realism in the game, but like that's just something that was kind of broken in the original that just was good.
It doesn't have to be intense or ragdoll, like flipping out, but I want it to at least be. If I'm big enough momentum, just imagine if like an actual giant force pushed someone over. Like, they can still go flying in real life. People can go flying in real life if they get hit by something. Yeah, because you imagine if Kojira's running down the street and accidentally like hits a human with its toe. I want to see that person go flying. Yeah. So like, and a grenade, the power behind it would probably send someone going back a bit. So I would expect like a hippie or something to go flying down the hill if he gets hit by a grenade, right? So, but like a Zap-O-Matic, like at least make them jump into the air or something and then fall down, like something like that. It doesn't have to be like, oh, they start doing cartwheels.
It would be hilarious though. It would.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Have a toggle, please. Just at least let it be enabled. I want to see
make it be an ultra volt mode or just like a taser mode, pretty much. Just fries them. And speaking of alert levels, we're going. Oh, you go.
I was also thinking about this. This is just something I don't expect for them to add because it wasn't in the original. But I feel like the difficulty is different with the health or something, or with the weapons are stronger or something like that. So I was thinking like, okay, what if there was a basically a hard mode that just made it a little more similar to the difficulty, which some people would find frustrating in some places of the original. I didn't personally, but
yeah,
it would be a hard mode for a reason. It would have a challenge, and I think that would be cool. Not that there wasn't, even in the first remake, there was some hard parts in there, and I really enjoyed that. I like challenge in my games.
There was a lot of hard parts, but the most hard parts for me was me trying to stay in the general vicinity of the mission so I wouldn't fail.
Yeah, that
is the next thing I'm going to talk about. Mission freedom. Let us roam around during the mission. Literally, that's just it. Don't keep us in this box. In the Shohim Su, you could literally run around unless it's an escort mission. Then you literally have to escort them.
Yeah, you could literally be so stupid in the game if you really wanted to. You could just run off and just go like make some have some hippies just do some free love. Whatever. Like you could just run off and do something else if you really wanted. It's not going to be for your benefit, but it's freedom. It's fun.
Oh, you can do it, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I would become I understand having the mission direct you towards what you're supposed to do. That's fine and everything. But I think they should have the same arrow effect around your body like they have in the remake, but it doesn't make you basically restart from your last nearby checkpoint or whatever.
Yes. Okay. So here's this thing. I want them to show the arrow, right? But it not stay on your screen like a giant arrow. Like it shows you go this way and then it goes away. And then you see on the radar, it sees an arrow pointing there.
Oh, so it'll be on your body radar for a little bit, and then it'll just turn to the radar instead. And then it'll just be flashing on the radar a little. Because
it's like, oh, you're going that way, bro. It's going to be like, oh, you'll probably saw it, so you'll probably be heading there. You know where to go.
I liked how you went to a location to get 2-player. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it a menu thing.
Yeah.
Because you can do mini games. Wait, can you do mini games in mission, or is it just?
I don't think you have to do mission. It's a mission. You can't do 2 missions at once.
Okay, so it's kind of like its own mission.
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind.
Just let us be free with our stuff, and with the radar as well. Keep the blip icons, the purple, pink blips, the magenta blips, and also the green blips for escort missions, and the purple X's for places we have to go.
Yeah.
And look around, investigate.
Should we? So we were speaking about the radar a little bit. Should we start talking about the alert levels?
That was what I was going to get to, and you went to the. We continued on this.
Okay.
And the alert level was a big thing. Actually, I saw what it was when I looked at the radar, and it actually wasn't that bad when I went to look at it. I saw 4, which really, really angered me, because the way I thought of it, there was 2 that involved police force, and there's 3 that involved military. And immediately I saw that there was only 4 rings, not 5, and it was at red. At the beginning of the mission, where it was just clear. It was a clear alert level, because no one knows what... Okay, now that was actually an issue with the main mission, the original mission in the remake. The remake gave you a red alert level, yet nothing happened for no reason. Granted, yes, the KGB know where you're at, but that's no reason to have a red alert level. The military know nothing of you. No one has met you yet, aside from the KGB and a few hippies. And no one's going to listen to hippies. They're high on stuff. They're not going to listen to them.
The alert level is meant to represent the kind of forces you're going to be facing in a given mission or free roam or whatever.
It's based off of military reinforcements.
And if it was based off of your personal alert, oh my god, what's going on? It would make sense. But that's not what the game was originally designed to be. It was supposed to be what kind of forces you're literally going to be facing.
Yeah.
So I think that should be adjusted.
Yeah. So once I saw there was 4, I'm like, oh god, they either kept they kept green and blue, and scrapped either yellow or orange. And those two were big. Yellow and orange are big contributors. I know they didn't get rid of red because it was red.
Yeah.
But then I saw it, and it goes to green, to yellow, to orange, to red, just like the original.
Okay, good.
They're copying a lot of the stuff from the original remake, which I like, but I don't like, because they were literally two different games.
This is very early, though, because I saw the menu in the beginning. They have a lot of the same menu and art of the first game, which kind of shows you this is like heavily built off of the first game.
True.
Like, I would not be surprised. They could literally, if they wanted to, if they had the time and if they wanted to, they could probably segment the game into two parts, Destroy Humans 1 and 2, and literally it's one game. They could just, they could do that. They could literally do like a definitive Destroy All Humans edition, whatever, of the classics that they have remastered or remade.
Yes.
Like, they could do something like that. Actually, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, what if they went back, added a, like, substantial amount of, like, new optional content, and they bundled it together and everything, and it was, like, a fluid story?
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of cool.
Pretty good.
Anyways. This is mostly criticism.
Yeah. Like I said, the yellow and orange were major in the game. So it was kind of like in the original Destroy Humans 1, where it was blue, not green, but you get what I'm talking about. So green level normal cops would come up, and in Destroy Humans 1, normal cops would come up when it's blue. When it's yellow, military rush in for the first time in their trucks, and you're like, hey, yo, so we got military now. Then orange comes in, and they bring in the big boys. They bring in the fucking double-barrel tanks, the best tank I've ever seen in my life. They bring them out to take care of you, and if all goes wrong, red alert level comes out, and they bring out SAM sites, which lock onto saucers and destroy them like nothing if you're not good at maneuvering. So that is a very and also military roam the streets. You are not losing sight of soldiers at red alert level. They are following you everywhere.
Yes.
Unless you mind freeze and just make them forget everything, you're not getting away from them. They will know where you're at.
Yes.
So what I want in Destroy Humans 2 remake, they have to have blue, yellow, and green, orange, and red. All of them have, not in that order. It has to go green, blue, yellow, orange, and red. And because what happens in the show, you guys know, the developers, y'all know how it actually goes. But for people who don't, it's the normal police force on yellow. On blue. On green, it's normal police force, and blue, they come in with shotguns.
Yeah.
And machine guns. If you're in Tokushima, they have machine guns instead of shotguns, which I kind of thought was cool. But
actually, it adds more difficulty.
Yeah, it does.
As you play, like, get to each area, eventually it's just more difficult.
But if you're in Russia, aka Tokushima, guy keeps messing up words. Tunguska and Solaris, green won't have any cars coming for you, but once it gets to blue, it's all military everywhere.
Oh yeah,
because it's Russia. Come on.
Yeah, Russia's known for, like, of these. It's like a stereotype of, like, they're like all military, all on board. They're very authoritative and stuff. Which I hope they keep. They need to make it like that, to where, like,
I'm sure they will.
Russia's a force, because they're the main enemy. Well, the main enemy. They're one of the main enemies, pretty much.
They are the main enemy because the KGB started it, and they also are working with them.
They're working with.
So it's a toss up between who's. They're both second hands of each other. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, alert level needs to work the way it did originally. Destroy Humans 1, I loved how it literally came together. Destroy Humans 1's remake was flawless.
Yeah, it was
literally flawless. It literally took everything for Destroy Humans 1 and made it. Just literally do exactly what Destroy Humans 2 did and do it.
Yeah, like they changed. Like, I feel like you had initial thoughts like, oh, there's like some things that are different. Like, hey, I've liked. I think you liked the menu system of like your abilities more like when you first started playing, if I remember right.
I think I hated the way the abilities worked. Actually,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I could press like Y or something and it would work, but I didn't like it how I had to use LB or whatever one on my controller, or RB or whatever, to open up the slot. I like how they have a new controller set up for your stuff, but what I want is the controller to have its old, like you could bring it to the newer style gaming or the old style play style.
Oh, so you can have the option to do either.
I didn't really. I liked it, but I didn't like it more.
Like if you knew it really well,
it changed, but it went well.
If you learned it really well, it was more snappy than the original, like doing abilities and stuff. I will say that, but
I want it to be more loose and free for you, so you could do what you want with it, pretty much. That's why Destroy Humans 2 clicked with me. Just the way PK, you could pick it up and freely move it around, and it's not locked onto someone every time you move, type thing.
Exactly. Okay? Yeah.
And you can also push it in and out if you're bringing it into something. Because there's actually a specific mission in Tunguska where you need to pull it out into something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what, but you have to literally extend it out.
They did remove the I always felt like the PK was not as weighted as like the original, which it always felt like, you know, if you're lifting up light things, it felt light. If you're lifting up heavy things, it felt heavy.
Yeah.
In the remake, that's the way they deal with that is instead they make it so it takes longer to pick up, which I get to an extent. Yeah. Like it takes longer and everything, but like it kind of naturally did. It kind of naturally did that in the original when like you know if you know you have your base psychokinesis, you start to pick up like a heavy object, it slowly starts coming up, and then you can throw all of your energy and like push it out.
Yeah.
And that was I don't know, I like the weightiness of that, where like you really pick up different things and they felt different to
Here is something
control.
There's something relatively interesting about the Destroy Humans 2's PK system. I played it so much, I can tell when it's actually locked onto something or it's not, when it's about to pick stuff up. Like, my hands can sense for some reason. Like, the controller has this hidden vibration that no one knows about, only for Destroy Humans, where if you're not looking at the right angle, you can feel that it's not locked on, and it'll just move it slightly, and it won't pick up. Unless it glitches. But if you're aiming at it directly, or you're too far, or you're
too high up in some instances.
Yeah, if you're too far away or you're high up, it won't be able to pick it up. But if you're really close to it, and it walks onto it, and now the screen moves, you can tell it's locked on.
Yeah.
In your hands, and not in your mind. You can feel in your hands, like, okay, this will work. Press Y or triangle, whichever you're playing, and then press circle, toss them, and put it out of here.
like, it feels like that there's a game called Control that has like basically a PK system where like you levitate objects and stuff, and that's very snappy and everything, like Destroy Humans remake. And I don't know, it just reminds me of that. Where it kind of favors control over feel.
Yeah.
Which it can be good, and like I feel like it's kind of bad in some areas, because a lot of the control, like we would do, I personally, like, if I didn't have a jetpack upgrade ready so I can get like a certain data core that's high up, I would literally stack buses very carefully. And because your PK is slow and weighted, you can do that and actually kind of stack things, like, and go on top to get to a place you need to.
In Albion, where you get the anti-gravity field for the saucer, easily the worst weapon.
The worst weapon. That one needs a revamp.
That one does, yes.
I would not be mad. That is actually the worst. I don't care. Not the dislocator. That is the worst.
Yeah, the anti-gravity field. I used to grab random buses in Albion and put it right in front of that thing where it's placed at, and jump up to the thing. And with the remake's ability, Crypto would slam it into the ground.
Yeah, I would
blow it up.
You would blow up it felt like you hit the vehicles, they would blow up really easily.
Yeah, like, I want it to be like you can choose whether you want to be harsh or gentle.
Yeah, and it's literally every time you throw a vehicle in the remake, it is guaranteed to blow up, no matter how it lands. It can land perfectly on its wheels if you like aim it up and it lands perfectly. It'll blow up still. In the original, it won't blow up every time. If you hit it right against something, it will blow up.
Yeah,
but you have to know that, and you learn that.
It's more or less like a big collision thing. If it hits a lot of things, it's going to do multiple damage.
Like, in some ways, the damage model and everything is more advanced in the original, which is... It's supposed to be an upgrade, and I get, like, the gameplay, like, the feel, like, okay, if I do this, I expect it to do this. Like, I get that. It's guaranteed. I get that. But the original has it so where, like, you're supposed to learn it.
Hey, yo, I got an idea what they could do for it. Because I know what they're probably thinking is to show humans you want to be aggressive.
Yeah.
They should have an options thing where you can make it free aim when it comes to levitating, or it's like a lock-on thing, and a lock-on is aggressive.
Yeah.
They could literally make it a thing where you can do whatever you want with the free PK, or if you just want to get the mission done, make it so PK is helping you out with destruction. That would be cool. That would be fine.
Like, see, like, I feel like when they were making it, I feel like they had a very heavy PC influence into the controls of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the reason, because, like, imagine, like, if you're using, like, a keyboard and a mouse and you're trying to levitate something, imagine if you're doing that in, like, the original game, you're just going to be dragging your mouse constantly upwards to, like, make that heavy object go up. And that can be actually annoying at that point. So I get that. It would, because the original game was just a controller. It was just meant to be a controller.
That's why I was saying that you can make it toggleable, whether if you want to do free aim or to lock on.
Yeah.
So PC players would be able to do it.
Yeah, PC players can have like so much of that control with their mouse.
And then us console players with controllers can beat you even with free aim.
If we want, we can make it more responsive still on console or whatever.
Yeah,
that's something that would be. I feel like that might be hard to implement, but it's an idea nonetheless, and it would be amazing if we can see that.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
And we should have said this after, but because it involves alerts, but. What kind of upset me is when you lose alert or get an alert level, it doesn't show the text of the color when it shows up. I don't know why, I just love that. I don't know why. Also, when the red alert comes up, they have to say something. Like, one of the soldiers has to go onto the microphone and say something.
Yes.
When the red alert pops up.
Yeah, like, I want to hear this soldier yelling, "Oh my god, I'm about to die," or tell my kids I never loved them. I want to hear him freak out. Yeah, when you're in the saucer.
Or if you're on the ground, just make him like, he's like, he's the shit, pretty much. He's like, your ass belongs to us.
Yeah, and I like the difference in that because they're underestimating Crypto when he's on foot. But then when he's in the saucer blowing up buildings, they're like freaking out.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It literally makes sense. And they need to keep that. That is something that like you're on foot and you feel like a badass, and when you're in the saucer you feel like a badass.
You feel like a cheap badass.
Yeah, but wait, let me rephrase that. When you're on foot, you feel more like it's more of a challenge on foot. At least it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and that's what I like about doing foot stuff. It's so much better. Pause.
And so it felt intense when they're like screaming into the intercom or whatever it is they're screaming actually at.
That's why I like playing on foot in the game. It just feels better to
probably
just
why the Kajiro fight is literally my favorite is because like for one, she's a giant Godzilla like creature, and two, you have to go on foot like on the second half of it or whatever to like actually do some damage. It's better to.
It's actually
recommended.
surprisingly better to go on ground to kill her because it drains her health if
Yeah.
you hit her in the right area.
Pox actually recommends it too.
And the fucking cool thing about it is the saucer's weak to her. You only need a saucer to get rid of everything that heals her.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, Crypto is scared when he's confronting her on the ground.
I know.
He's genuinely scared. He's like, I don't care about the ninjas. I'm worrying about getting my ass stomped.
Yeah, he's like, oh god! He's like actually freaking out because like, you know, he like sure he's a Furon badass or whatever, but he really like he's just a Spiridium. He's just a soldier, and they don't really face, as far as I know, they don't face giant creatures like that. So
yeah, they
something to that level. Just running down towards you would be terrifying to even a sadistic alien.
Honestly, you want to know what this is making me think?
What?
I really wish there could have been a game dedicated to more Blisk stuff. Because with what the Blisk were able to do with Kajira, imagine what else they could have done with their stuff.
Imagine how much genetic engineering they could do. They're like...
Yeah.
Wow. They turned a Japanese lady into a Godzilla. What else could they do?
Hey, listen. The Serial Humans 3 prequel. What?
Prequel. Ooh.
Yeah, Blisk War, bro.
What if they had like the Tunguska event? So like, what if the Tunguska event in Destroy All Humans 2, like originally, I'm talking about like the plot, not the actual game. But like, what if originally when it crash landed and everything, when the Blisk crash landed, they actually feuded? I would think it makes sense they feuded with the Russians because the Russians like to take control. I don't think they would just immediately have an alliance. They probably fought for a while, and then made a deal.
Here's the thing: the KGB did it secretly. Because Milenkov is ruler of KGB, and they know what the Blisk wants. And he's like, oh, it's power and communism. Sure, help us, we'll help you.
Yeah.
The Russian soldiers have no idea.
They have no idea.
Because if you bring a soldier up to the base, they will shoot. But if they get too close in the base, they run the hell out of there.
Yeah, because there's like giant compared to their size. Like, things running at them. Like creatures that they never seen before. That's...
Yeah, and then if you're on Solaris, the cosmonauts ignore them. Until the battle breaks out when you get them to feud. That's when they fight.
Because, it makes complete sense, because the cosmonauts would be more used to the Blisk, whatnot, all that kind of stuff.
Actually KGB. You can hear their voice of KGB.
Yeah. And I want the AI to be smart like that, or like smart in a way, because they're afraid, which is smart. Like, I want a threshold of where, like, oh my god, what is this? And they're shooting, and then eventually they get scared. Usually in the game, how a lot of times in the game, how they made that work is after the person or even a Blisk takes a certain amount of damage, then it'll like start to retreat.
Well, Blisk, when they lose health, they go and charge all or nothing at you. They literally throw all their body at you, hoping that they're going to get you.
Yeah, like when the Blisk loses its shield, it goes, oh no! And it starts rushing, trying to kill you, like really trying to kill you. It starts smacking you, literally.
Yeah.
And that is cool. I want... It's not quite a mini-boss, but it's got like a 2-phase aggro system.
Yeah, it's got phase. Yeah, it has characteristics to it.
Yeah.
And not all Blisk will charge you when their health is down, too. Some will keep shooting at you.
Yeah, so I think it depends on your distance.
What I think they should do is I think when they lose their shields, they should be more accurate with it because they're panicking. Like, okay, I actually got a hit now. I can't be screwing around. I have to hit this. Yeah. It's because the Yetis have amazing accuracy and tanky hit boxes. So what I think they should.
Don't worry about it.
I can't hear it, so you're fine. But yeah, no, the Blisk, some of them, like how they are really bad shots, when they lose their shields, they should make it so their lasers are actually really good, like they're a dead shot. Don't kill you though, but they can hit you well.
Yeah, they can. They increase their accuracy by like 30%, something like that.
Yeah.
something to where like it just is notably like, oh wow, okay, they're really trying.
Yeah. And the retreat thing, what I think would be cool is if they had more dialogue towards their fear and how scared they are. Some soldiers, a lot of soldiers, like when they throw a grenade, they'll scream, "I'm too young to die," and run the other direction.
I like that.
Or
like how
same with the ion detonator. You do the same thing, they'll book it.
I feel like in the original remake, I didn't they have somewhat of that? Like if you threw something on the ground, a grenade, they would run away. I
don't remember. No, it was more if you catch a grenade and throw it back at them, they'll just die. But.
Yeah, because I remember in the remake, if you were throwing like an explosive, whether it's your own or like someone or theirs at them, they would just be firing the whole time like a robot. And I like how in the second game, the original, they really felt like they had decision making. Like, they were able to judge a situation and change their tactics depending on it. Sometimes they'll be strafing, sometimes they'll run up to you, try to hit you, stuff like that. I like that. I think they had that in the remake somewhat, because I think I remember playing in like the farmer with the shotgun hit me once.
Yeah.
I think they do that, but I just hope it's you can identify the patterns easily and basically like judge where they're moving. Because I like that with the original, how it didn't completely lock on. If like they're strafing, you might actually miss them. Like their strafing is actually like a nuisance sometimes.
Yeah.
And you would have to like, and if you were able to read, if you're able to predict their movements, you would kill them faster.
Oh yeah, no, that's so cool. Destroy Humans 2, some soldiers would jump to the side and duck under and reload, and then come back up and shoot at you.
Mm-hmm.
And the characteristic of Destroy Humans 2 was literally godlike for the time. I swear to God, the amount of detail they put into there was better than any PS2 game at the time.
At the time, yeah.
I would 100% say.
Like, you go play GTA San Andreas, I don't think, like the most they would do is dive out of the way if you're driving a car, right?
Yeah. Really? It's more if you honk at them, it's when they do it.
Yeah.
But still, you get my point. It's really, really cool.
It is. And they made that game right after the original in a year.
In a year, yeah.
A single year, and they did all of that and improved that much.
I really wish it wasn't rushed. You know how cool it would have been if it was fully made?
Oh my god. Yeah. Like, okay, most PS2 games took a year of development at that time, maybe a little bit longer, but most of them took about a year to make. So I wouldn't call it rushed, because developers at that time were used to that, and they were able to plan out what they wanted to do relatively well and actually complete that. And, like, the game wouldn't be broken like games nowadays, where they either where they, like, have so much that they want to do, and then they just either miss the mark or whatever, or there's bugs along the way. I don't know. They release too early, and they just decide to patch it. Like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll just patch it. You know, get the sales, get the money right away, and patch it.
Yeah.
Original games, they didn't really do that.
Yeah, they didn't. It was...
It was great. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like, if the original developers for Destroy All Humans 2, like, say, came back and
I would cry.
Worked if literally, like, if all of them came together and reimagined Destroy All Humans 2, how they were trying to make it originally, that's my ideal remake as like a really large fan. And like, sure, they would alter things from the original game, like balancing things that they feel like should be changed. Like they would be like, oh, these escort missions, like they need to be altered, not removed.
I'm sure altered. Since it was a rush thing, like they only had a year to do it. So technically they had a line. I'm pretty sure they were going to do something with the escort missions. They had to. There was a lot of stuff bad with the escort missions that could have totally been fixed. I know they had to do something with that. I
feel like the escort missions in the remake, I think they could pretty much keep it unchanged, simply for the fact that I feel like it would be easier to kill the opponents around you, because it just feels easier in the remakes.
Yeah.
To kill your enemies. Like, I might try doing a run without upgrading anything and seeing if the difficulty is more of what I remember. in terms of damage.
That's the thing. Every new area you go to, they're twice as strong.
Yeah.
So compared to Bay City, it's like a few seconds with a normal Zap-O-Matic unupgraded. If you're at Solaris, you're going to be hitting them 10 times before that dude dies.
I know, and I love that. I enjoy that. I like the difficulty. Like, if you wanted to be crazy and not upgrade anything and try and beat the game like that, you could, and it would be hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it would be
I actually tried
difficult
to do that, but I literally lost my console, so I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
I literally went on a run where I didn't do upgrades. I just ran with Zap-O-Matic and basically Disintegrator Ray. That thing will save you so much. And the Anal Probe, it's a one-hit regardless. So
I didn't even think... You know when you get that upgrade that like makes it so you can actually damage Blisks like really well?
Yeah.
Was that like a buying upgrade, right? For all the guns?
So you can't buy it.
Yeah, and you can't buy it.
Yeah, so you have to go through it with normal Blisks with their strength. They have the upper hand on it.
And the Blisk, what I remember playing, the Blisk were hard to kill if you didn't have the upgrade, but you had all of the other upgrades. Like
it was more if you didn't know what they were mainly their shields and what their actual weaknesses were underneath.
Yeah, like if you use Zap-O-Matic.
Because the shield, the Zap-O-Matic drains the shields and Disintegrator Ray or explosive from behind and it will kill it. And
that was pointed out in the original. I hope they keep that. They need to have the Zap-O-Matic take out their shields and then you switch to a different gun. The games did that before.
Yeah, and I loved it. How like it would literally show at the top left. It would say more different guns will do better for certain things. Like shields will do better for like
it's like
other guns and whatnot.
If you can literally you can still kill them without using that, but it's a lot better if you do that. And
also, I want to say something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but can you think for a minute how strong the Blisk shields are if they can take 4 meteors in a row and survive?
Yeah. That's literally insane. Like before the upgrades?
No, with the upgrade. With it.
Is it really 4?
Yeah.
Jesus. Damn. Yeah, that's actually, like the Blisk are
I don't think the Meteor Strike even had one, but still, 4 from actual meteors. It shouldn't even matter if it should hurt Blisk, if there should be a Blisk upgrade. It's a meteor. It's
a meteor. Jeez. That's actually is that meant to be like that in the original? Like that seems like they are really like strong. Like
I mean, I don't know, but I mean I'm down for it. I mean
I don't know. If you want to go crazy, then like go crazy. I mean, it's a player choice. Like that's all I want to see is player choice at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly my point. Freedom. And speaking of freedom, well, free love. There is an issue with free love in the current state of Show Humans 2's demo beta thing. Free love, in order to activate it, you have to hit multiple people with it, not just one, and then it does everyone around you.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna be a bit harsher. That blows.
Yeah, I get it.
It's kind of like it's kind of like how Show Humans 1. It's more like fast-paced action. Do this or you're dead, pretty much. Like the Show Humans 1's remake. Like if you don't do it right, you're gonna pretty much fail.
Yeah.
And it was very rushed when it comes to gameplay, and I really wanted to like be able to. You can take your time, relax, it don't matter. So free love, you can just sit there, get one, jump in. You don't need to worry about you failing if too many people spot you. You can just jump in and make people forget with free love. And just walk right
like
off.
With free love, like they made like a criticism that free love was overpowered. You could just make one person like dance and then make everyone else dance. I get that and everything, and how it's like it makes the game like easier. But again, that easiness is a player choice thing. You don't have to use free love.
Yeah, you can just run and make them lose you.
Yeah, apart from like situations where the game wants you to do free love, which is not that often, really.
Also, what you can do is if people spot you, you can literally make it so they can forget. It's kind of like the perceptibility. You can, if like someone's on you and you're in the skin, you can literally make them forget what they're doing. So like, oh, what the hell? What was I thinking?
Yeah.
And it's like, why was I shooting at you? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was just like, huh? What was going on? Yeah, I like that. They need the forgettability. Make sure they have that.
And the protectability. That
and the protect.
Works really good.
Protect
Protect needs to start wars like in the second gamer's original.
Yes, I want to have my protectability like on multiple people. I want to have like that's what I want. At least
and I said this in the our 2-hour video that we did.
Yeah.
I want if you're able to use it on tanks, it can only do it on one tank. You can do it on one tank or 3 people at max.
If they ever do tanks, that would be a difference.
Yeah, well, tanks really they never did a lot of damage. It would be more of a get out of the way type of thing that's going to take your bullets for you. Yeah. And also, soldiers could blow that stuff up really quick, so it really wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, if they have like a rocket launcher or whatever.
No. Dude, the M16s the soldiers had in Bay City ripped that thing apart.
Really? I didn't even realize.
About 10 or like about 2 full magazines of or their bursts would destroy the tank.
Okay.
Same with Albion. They upped the armor for everything, so it's literally balanced. Albion soldiers 2 clips would just drain it. Okay, and Takoshima, the fire rate on that thing was fucking cracked.
So if the damage,
tanks die instantly.
So if the damage in the remake is similar to the original game like that, then I could see them doing that, and it wouldn't be like the most overpowered thing.
It wouldn't be big at all.
It would be good for distraction, basically.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And because all the soldiers, of course, they would be looking at the tank that's all of a sudden shooting at them.
That would kill everyone.
I would because I feel like so if you did mind control on a police officer. And there's a bunch of soldiers. I feel like once you mind control them in the original game, wouldn't they immediately start shooting them if they weren't already looking at you? Or did they wait until the police officer shot?
Think of it this way. Why would a cop shoot at a random cop for no reason just because someone was looking at them? The guy would have to shoot at you first, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that was in the original, because I feel like it was.
Yeah, they wait till you shoot until they shoot, and then they shoot back.
So
a lot of people will stay on you because you're an alien compared to a guy with a pistol.
Yeah, I remember that. There would be always
if a lot of people are on you and there's a few like, sure, I'll go for this guy, and then they'll go back for you.
Usually they would end up doing a duel kind of thing where one AI will pair up with the mind control person, and they would pair up and they would shoot each other.
Yeah, you want to know something funny? I used to do this little dueling thing. I'd throw a cop in and the sergeant with the pistol.
Yeah.
The sergeant would always die against an officer.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
For some reason, the accuracy, I know it's a random, but for some reason, I'm so mad the sergeant loses the duel every time.
Maybe
he will win sometimes, but he'll have a lot of health on.
Maybe the sergeant, maybe he has a less powerful gun for some reason. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, I can see why he does, but at the same time, if you kill him, he kind of has a cool ability where they either abort and run away, or they charge in, all or nothing. They really come up and hit you down, start lighting you up, which I really like. Same with their truck. If you destroy the truck, they'll start chasing you or whatever.
Exactly.
What I think they could do is they could I know this is going to be different because it's a secret agent, but secret agents have this golden pistol that knocks you down.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
I could see how a secret agent would only have it because it's a secret agent.
Yeah.
But, I feel the military would have powerful caliber rounds and a magnum shooting at you and knocking you down.
If a military officer were to have a pistol, they would probably have something strong like that.
Yeah.
General. I just feel like they would, because military-grade weapons are meant to be strong. They're meant to rip through armor and just destroy organs. It's meant to do damage.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, free love, make it easier to use, and it's a player choice if you want to use it type thing.
Yeah.
The final thing for my list is mission structures. They should be faithful and stick with everything. I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning here, like how like Crypto tossed Hawks into a fucking trash can and saved him from a meteor.
Yeah.
I really I was kind of upset with that because it's not following the original game. I get it's a remake and they're remaking it, but some things should stay the same and not be remade.
Yeah.
Like some things were so well made. Like, should I even get started on how the AI goes in missions against other AI?
Yeah.
Like, just watch it happen and you'll learn what I'm talking about. It's so impressive. They literally have a mind of their own. It's like you're talking to, like you're playing with another person on the screen.
Yeah,
Granted,
it really feels like that sometimes.
Like, it really feels like it.
Yeah. Like, it really, you could literally have, I don't know what to say. It's kind of like, say like if you're playing GTA or whatever and you're and there's people, and then you just have an overpowered character for some reason in there, and there's like online or whatever, and it's just kind of like it can be like that in a sense where like the AI is pretty smart with how it deals with situations and different situations. I want that to be represented. Really want it to be. I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful for that.
Yeah, but yeah, the like again, this mission structure. So like, think of like the bosses. How like everyone, if like out of nowhere, like someone saw Kachira, they'd want to fight them instead of you.
Yeah.
Don't make it like they're always locking on you to make it a difficult challenge. It's supposed to be a Kachira boss fight, not a whole military shootout featuring Lizard.
Featuring Lizard. Yeah, they need to have priorities as well.
Yeah. So, like, mission structures, keep them relatively the same. Don't change stuff. Like this, I cannot stress it enough. Aaron, the bold text on the screen, don't change.
Don't change. There's a lot that that doesn't need to be changed. There's a lot of things that can be improved upon. That is a definite
I'm not saying
thing.
Don't improve it. Make it very, very.
But
big.
yes, there are. The game is very it aged, besides like certain aspects, it aged very well in terms of its mission structure. Its mission structure is literally like a GTA game.
This is literally all I'm going to say. Literally, the best way to remaster the game is just make the graphics like real people. And the crypto from the actual remaster. If you did that, it would be better than ever.
It would literally
just
do
make
that.
the animations like more realistic, and boom, you literally have a AAA game in a Destroy Humans form, and it would go perfect.
It would.
Like there was nothing stopping it from doing it aside from like a few things, but like other than that, like minor things. But like,
I still think there should be minor design alterations, but more so enhancements. Yeah. I get it. Like the game would actually untouched, but with like looks better and stuff, would actually do pretty damn well to this day. It has stood the test of time. Time will show you if a game is actually good or not. And Destroy Humans 2 is one of those games where it really shows it's good.
Just think of this is basically what I'm trying to say. You've seen normal Minecraft.
Yep.
RTX ray tracing Minecraft. Think of that compared to the original, and think of it with Destroy Humans. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like amazing graphics, real as all living shit.
Like
just.
Like who knows? Maybe someone will one day mod like they'll either mod the remake to make it more faithful in certain aspects, or someone will. One day, maybe, hopefully, this is a dream, port the original game to PC, and then have a bunch of player options to adjust how the player wants the game to be. So they could have like the original graphics, they could have enhanced frame rate, so the frame rate can actually go up. They could have enhanced visuals with that. They can toggle all these things. So like if someone modded in like a ray tracing like GI or whatever, and there's a thing that you can do with game textures now that like some fan projects do now, is they basically they take old textures from a game like a PS2 game or whatever, and they use AI to upscale the images of that, and then they add like roughness maps and stuff to it, so then it has the original artist intent, and they could add like lighting, and it would actually have like reflections or bumpiness to it.
Yeah.
And that's really neat, and I don't know, that's just a random off-topic kind of like thing that like as like a massive fan of the original game, like that would be really cool to see, like just as a little project, like a little thing. And honestly, I know why Destroy All Humans 2 isn't on Xbox One. Like its backwards compatible list. It is upsetting, but like the Xbox One, it does backwards compatibility by what is backwards compatible on the 360. So on the 360, you were able to put in the first Destroy All Humans and play it.
Oh.
But
well, they can port it. They could literally port it, like they did with they literally did it with the PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
they do what they did with PS4.
I think I think the PS4, they made a new emulator for it, and they like a completely new one, and they did that.
That was what I was going to say. The next thing was going to be like, I just want them to bring it back for like make it for PC and for Xbox.
Yeah, if they do bring it back, it's kind of it would kind of be like a love letter to fans. Like I understand a lot of people would maybe buy it when like, because a lot of people would see like, oh, they got the remake right there. It looks so good and everything. Yeah. Not everyone's gonna buy it, but it would really be meaningful to fans, and I don't expect it, of course, but it's just dreaming at this point.
Yeah. Hey, listen, bro. We dreamed about the Destroy All Humans 2 remake, and guess what's happening?
It's I literally heard like tiny rumblings so many years ago that like, hey, they could be, Destroy All Humans 2. Destroy All Humans IP now is owned by this company. It's like, oh, and they're thinking about making a bunch of remakes and stuff. The company is. Yeah. And I was like,
I remember you told me about it. I was like, don't say this. You're going to let us down. And then, like, literally, like, about, like, what, a few years later, like 5 or some years later?
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years later, like, boom. And then we get the first remake announced and released. And now we're getting the second one announced.
Yeah, no, I saw the first one come. I was like, Aaron, like, immediately as we saw the trailer, I'm like, Aaron, do you think that means that the other one's the second one is coming? It might be here. It's on its way.
Like, that's literally like our first thought.
I remember Aaron looked at me and said, "Shut the fuck up, stop."
I was not ready to think about. I was like, "Oh my god, stop! I'm not ready." I am not ready. I am too happy at this moment because I do really like the first game. Second game is like something other like worldly to me though.
Yeah.
It's so special. It's so special to us. There might be a lot of like just straight up criticism and not enough praise in this video, but I have to preface this like this is just because we love the game so much, and we are loving the hard work directed towards this childhood game of ours. Like,
whatever I said, if it ever offended you, I'm sorry. I did not mean it. I just want when Adrian said on Twitter to give us feedback. This is our feedback to try to help you. We don't. I know when I like swearing off the chain, it sounds like I'm being hostile. I'm really not.
Honestly, I think you handled yourself pretty well.
Thank you.
I honestly think because like before you were talking about this, there were instances where you were genuinely like,
I was tired, and I was thinking of like how like Destroy All Humans 2 could possibly be ruined. I was thinking negative thoughts. I'm like, I was getting mad.
But right now, the best thing we can do is think, what are they doing good, and what we want them to do even better.
Literally, exactly what we talked about. Just like keep like the original game in mind, and just really upgrade on that, and just don't change a lot of stuff. And I literally will be happy with you. I'll give you an AA+ on your I'll literally give an AA+ on your test. Like
I just want everything to be pretty much the same, look better, play better, basically.
Exactly. Identical with the improvements that the original needed.
Yeah. Like
yeah. So
yeah, there's other little things that like I want to make sure the obviously Dylan went over alert levels and everything. I want like the general as well like HUD 2D design to be similar because right now it looks right now it reminds me they're pulling directly from the first remake. I want them to look at how the first game evolved from the second game. I mean, how the first game evolved into the second game, and how everything has changed and everything like that. And I want them to keep that. Like with the second game, they had a hexagon theme or whatever. Like if you notice in the menus and like the icons, like for the mission icons, I want those to be the same colors and everything.
The hexagon bolts.
I want the white, yellow, and what was the colors? Wait, what was all the colors?
It was yellow for story missions.
Yellow
and
for story missions.
Were only white, and the Arctic Brutal colors were the white eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so I want all those symbols to be the same.
Exactly.
Just for nostalgic purposes, like I want to be like I want to do an Arc Voodoo cult mission and look at the map and be like I can tell that's an Arc Voodoo cult mission, and
also,
then go and do it.
With Arc Voodoo cult, I was gonna say something about this, but I forgot. The Arc Voodoo idol and the Arc Voodoo cult, like the physical spirit, needs to be different.
Exactly.
It doesn't. I mean, what I mean by different is it shouldn't be different from the original. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
But it should look different. Is what I'm saying. Physically. Yeah. The spirit should look like a ghastly, like spiritual form with eyes watching over him, giving him guidance. Like you could hear, like godly. I don't know how to make it sound like a holy whispers talking to him, and they're all praising him or whatever. The idol literally needs to be his like main form of like Voodoo, like what he would look like.
And it doesn't have to. I don't want it to be in any way. It's designed to be changed into like a physical form because that would ruin it.
Yeah.
It needs to be completely like ghastly and like spiritual because that's how it was kind of meant to be. Like only Furons and people who believe in it can really see it.
Yeah, to be honest, it literally fits with hippies with like their hallucinations. That's why they follow it so well.
Exactly.
Like that's like it's spirit. Like people have hallucinations, see spiritual stuff with all the drugs they're taking.
Yeah.
Like literally, just think of like literally the agriculture and everything that happened at that time. Just keep that in mind as well when you're making these things. Everything about it, just think stereotypical, and it's basically what it was. And like little historical facts, pop it in there. Pop it in. Oh, one big thing about before this ends. I saw something about Albion, and since it's Majestic, that's in Albion, that's still continuing on. I loved how y'all guys added in the robots from the original.
That's cool.
That was the best addition you've done. Keep it.
And technically, we haven't seen the military influence in Bay City yet, so they could still have some mechs. You never know.
Yeah, I understand, but like it was more Majestic that had those robots, though.
Yeah, it
wasn't. Because like General Armquist, yes, he commanded them, but Majestic handed them thinking he was gonna do well with them. Then he fucking died, and he was like, "You wasted our time.
Yeah,
you have a whole military at your disposal, and you couldn't wipe out one alien.
Exactly.
All you had. So like." I'd understand the Majestic, like, we know what we're doing. Keep them robots.
I'm getting an idea.
Cut the army off.
I'm getting an idea. So, you know how, like, they had the boss mech in it? What if in the military bases, there's, like, the main military bases in each area or whatever, if there is a military presence?
Salvage of it? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yes, do that. Oh my god, it's in one of the containers or something.
That would be cool.
Or it's like on a depot, like where's workers working on it, trying to rebuild it or something.
Bro, they're trying to build like a new. They could literally, if they really wanted to, they could have like something something to allude to the actual sequel.
Yes.
The actual like next game, like they could allude to it, and it wouldn't mess with the story. Like say like in a certain environment, they could have like something they're building, and it looks insane, and you don't know what it is, and it's like kind of kept away, so they don't mention it at all.
Yeah.
I have to pee really bad.
Yeah.
I'm about to pee myself.
Before you oh, you got to go bad.
Oh yeah. This was
okay. Then go. I was just gonna say, like, why don't we wrap it up since I think we got everything off.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. It's your video. You do the outro.
All right. So that was our general criticism and hopeful. Like that was our general criticisms and what we want. Also, what we're hopeful to see in the Destroy Humans 2 Reprobed. And
so far it looks really good.
So far it looks really good. It is very early, so we are super glad they are open to criticism and they're showing early.
Yeah, just like the original remake. You guys,
so far,
that was a good idea.
Yes, and it is amazing how because it's all early and everything, they have plenty of time to like take in criticism and do different things.
That they want our input on it before they make any final decisions.
Yeah,
like this is why I love THQ here. Like, can we get if anyone's watching this other than y'all we're sending the criticism to, can we like do a praise THQ month or something?
Yeah, they're doing so much.
Like
Black Forest games as well.
For the gaming interest. Yeah, of course.
Deadman's making it.
All of these, everyone that's working on this collectively are literally going out of their way to make sure we're happy with what we loved.
Exactly. They are taking criticism.
And they love doing it. And they love doing it for us. So, why not? Like, praise y'all.
I'm happy that they're also, I'm assuming they're looking for criticisms and thoughts from the hardcore fans, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Exactly.
That will do it for today. Yeah. I have to use the bathroom.
I did too. What did you do to me, Aaron? What did you do?
I don't know. I don't know what I did. But
I'm telling Crypto.
That'll be it. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you liked it. See ya.
See ya.
Who'd want to go to war just to line the pockets of the military-industrial complex, man? Clayton's my hero! Sticking it to the man!